Welcome to your mat. Today's class is focused on back pain and sciatica pain. So we will start today in a comfortable seat, however that looks for you. Closing those eyes, lengthening that spine, deepening that breath, arriving in your body at center. And on an inhale, inhaling hands to heart center, setting an intention for your practice today. Feeling it and knowing it right now. And then gently bowing down to that God being within you, within all of us and all things. A deep recognition of who we are. Then releasing those hands to the knees, and we'll start with some circles of the spine. Leading with the heart, allowing that heart to guide you as you round into the upper back, and allowing that heart to guide you forward as you lift up through the heart and the chest. Allowing a deep, steady breath to be your guide here. Closing the eyes as often as you can in your practice to allow yourself to move presently and deeply within you. And as you're ready, switching directions, continuing with those slow, expansive circles of the spine. Breathing in if there's any moments of tension or even pain. Noticing, adjusting as needed. Breathing deeply and fully. And on that next inhale, back to that tall spine at center. So we bring those legs out behind us. We sit in hero's pose with the shins on the earth, the tops of the feet on the mat. And on an inhale, we raise those arms to the sky. And on an exhale, slow and controlled. If you need to, release the hands to the mat. Otherwise, slowly releasing down into that child's pose. Balasana with the knees together to start. A gentle round here in the spine as we fold over those legs, breathing here. Deep, steady breath creates space with that breath. And then gently keeping the body low as we walk those fingers over towards the left side, breathing into the right side of your body here, creating some space, connecting with your breath. Full, steady breaths. And on an inhale, slowly walking those hands over towards the right side now. Breathing into the left side of your body. Stay with that deep, steady breath. If the mind wants to come in, if it's distracting you, if it's loud, if it's focusing on anything besides the breath, bring it back. Realign. Center in the present moment. Stay with that steady breath. Then on your next inhale, walk those hands towards center. Breathing here. Reach through those fingertips. Maybe walk them a little further forward. As you breathe into the spine, creating more length here. Full, steady breath. And on your next inhale, shift that weight forward into the palms as you bring those hands right under the shoulders, knee right under those hips, hip width distance. And on your inhale, lengthening that spine forward, lift the heart up. And on that exhale, rounding into the upper back as you shift the hips forward. Inhale extends, lengthens, and lifts. Exhale rounds into the upper back. One more round here. Inhale, lengthen, and lift. Exhale, rounding into the upper back as you gently shift those hips forward. And releasing, returning to that lengthened spine at center, balanced here. Really root those palms down into the earth and then extend and walk those hands forward as we come into a puppy pose. So keep those hips over the knees here as we breathe into the length of your spine. Forehead on the mat, or if you want to move deeper, you can set the chin to the mat. Breathe into your spine. Create length and space. Stay with your breath. Deep, steady breath. And on that next inhale, we'll shift the weight forward as we lower the hips to the earth. Those elbows are right under those shoulders as we roll the shoulders down the back, lift the heart up here into our Sphinx pose. A gentle back bend and extension, breathing here. Allow that breath to create space in your spine. And then bringing those palms under the shoulders, tuck the back toes as we shift that weight back onto the knees. And then lift those knees off the earth as we come into downward facing dog. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Press the palms into the mat as if you're pushing the mat away. And as you do this, feel that lengthen between every single vertebrae in the spine. Maybe you pedal those feet out, bending one knee and then the other, or maybe you find some stillness in those legs. So your sit bones gently and subtly lift towards the sky and the heels extend towards the earth, lengthening your hamstrings, breathing into your legs, breathing into your spine. Full, steady breath. Create space. And on that next inhale, shifting that weight forward here into our high plank, engaging the core, then lower the knees as we lower halfway down, chest to the earth, and then we inhale, lift that heart up and through, release the legs, coming into our cobra pose, little to no weight in those palms. Really use the muscles of the back to strengthen and to lift here. Continue to breathe, continue to hold. Allow your body to grow strong. And on your exhale, releasing back down, release the chest to the earth. Full breath here. And then extending those arms to the front of your space, and on an inhale, lifting up through the arms, through the feet, coming back into strengthening our spine as we lift here into our locust pose. Exhale, releasing back down. Bring those palms back under the shoulders. So we shift that weight back again onto the knees, this time returning to that child's pose from the beginning of our practice. Sit bones on heels, arms extended long. Breathe into the spine. Full, steady breath. As often as you can, return to the breath if you lose it. Gaze comes forward, and on that inhale, we shift the weight forward. Tuck those toes, lift those knees. Downward facing dog. Press into the mat, lengthen that spine, create space in those vertebrae. And then inhale, shift the weight forward into a high plank. Flowing here through chaturanga as you lower halfway down. On that inhale, lift the heart up and through, upward facing dog. Gaze over the left shoulder, kind of rotating towards the right, back to neutral, and then gaze over that right shoulder as those hips fall to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, slowly lower down here. Really root and plant those palms under the shoulders, and on an inhale, lifting back up into that cobra pose here, little to no weight in the palms. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, lifting back up. Really using the spine here, creating space and strength. Exhale, release down. Inhale, lift. Again, use the back to lift the body here. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Steady breath. Exhale, release. Again, inhale, lifting up. Strengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Plant those palms under the shoulders, shifting that weight back again. This time, knees come wide as big toes come to touch. Wide-legged child's pose, allowing the body to surrender to the earth between the thighs. Breathing here into your spine, into the space that you are creating in your body. Then spread those fingers wide as you shift the weight forward, returning to that downward facing dog. Lift those sit bones to the sky. Feet are spread hip width distance apart. Press the palms into the mat, lengthen the spine. Steady breath here. Create space. Gaze comes forward as we slowly walk those feet towards the front of the mat, coming to a forward fold where we release from the hips. And then on that inhale, halfway lengthen here through the spine, roll the shoulders down the back. Exhale, fold from the hips, releasing back towards the earth. Gentle bend of the knees so you don't lock out the joints. Release the neck, release the body towards the earth. Allow gravity to support here. Keep the spine lengthened, don't round into your spine. As I said earlier, fold from your hips. And then slowly release those sit bones down towards the earth. As we come down onto our backs, hug those knees into the chest. Gentle rock side to side, left to right. Stay with your breath, stay in your body. Hug those knees in nice and tight as you lift the chin towards the knees, rounding the spine a bit here. Breathing in, hugging everything in close, and on the exhale, release the neck down. Release those feet, soles of the feet on the earth. Walk those heels out so the fingertips can just touch the heels as the feet are hip width distance. And on your inhale, Lift those sit bones towards the sky. Lift those hips up high. Breathing here into your bridge pose. And on that exhale, slowly lowering upper back first, then middle, then lower, then hips. Inhale, lifting back up here. Press the feet into the mat. Steady breath, use your strength. One more inhale. And then your next exhale, lowering back down, upper back, middle, low. Take your time. Inhale, rise. One more time. Lift it up here in your bridge pose. Strengthen your spine. Steady breath. And on that next exhale, slow release. Upper, middle, lower back. And then one more time. Inhale, lifting up high. This time, roll those shoulders under the body, clasping the hands at the small of the back. As you press those palms down into the earth below you, and you lift those sit bones up higher. Breathing here into your spine as you strengthen and create space. Maybe you extend those arms to the front of the mat as you slowly lower, upper back, middle back, low back, hips. And we're going to take that left foot, lifting it up and bringing that ankle to the top of that right thigh. Clasping the hands here around the thigh, maybe just below the knee. As we pull these legs up into the chest, really coming into that left hip here, breathing here. You can stay here, maybe you clasp just above the knee, on the shin, wherever it feels more comfortable, making sure both those feet are flexed. A few breaths here into your hips. This is a beautiful release if you're experiencing any pain with that sciatica. Steady breath. And on that next exhale, slowly release those feet back to the earth. Extend that left leg long, hug it in towards the chest, and breathe into that hamstring, and then exhale, release it to the earth. So we switch to the other side, bringing that right foot up, ankle above the thigh. Hands come behind that thigh, below the knee, as we bring the legs in towards the chest. Flex both those feet. Maybe you stay here, maybe you change that grip to the top of that shin and the left leg. Wherever you are, really breathe into your hip. Full, steady breath. We store a lot of emotion in our hips. So if you feel anything rising, if you feel anything asking to be released, breathe. Allow it to flow, allow it to move. No longer trapped in your physical body, but allow it to be released. Deep, steady breath here. And on that next exhale, release that left foot down. Inhale, right leg to the sky as we pull that leg in towards the chest. One breath into the hamstring. And then release that right foot down. Extending both of those legs long, reach the arms over the head, full body stretch here. Rolling onto our left side as we gently press our way back up. Flipping those legs under the body, back into that tabletop position. Lift those knees into that high plank. Exhale, send those sit bones back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Press the palms into the mat, lengthen the spine. Gently lift the sit bones to the sky as you exhale, heels to earth. And then slowly walk those feet forward to the front of the mat, releasing into the forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, roll the shoulders down the back. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, release, clasping hands at the back of the calves, pulling deep as we inhale next. Arms are wide as we rise to the sky. Exhale, gentle back extension, shift the hips forward, lift the heart up and through. Inhale, back to tall spine. Exhale, lower those palms down into your heart center. Steady breath. Inhale, arms come rising high again. Exhale, release them wide as we forward fold back down to the earth. Plant the palms on the mat, send that right foot back. Keeping that left knee here in a lunge with that knee right over the ankle. Release the back knee on the right foot, release the top of the foot. Inhale, lift that heart up and through. Maybe you stay here with the hands on the earth. Maybe those palms come to the back top of that left knee. Maybe hands come to the hips or at the small of the back. Pressing a little bit deeper here as we move into our psoas, the front of that right hip, that hip flexor muscle. Remembering that all of these muscles in our body are connected. And sometimes, even though we're feeling the pain in our back, it could be due to our hips being tight, to our psoas muscles being tight. So as we work all of the areas in this region in our body, we support our body to release, to relax, to surrender. So breathing here. Inhale, arms to sky, and on that exhale, release hands to the earth as we shift the weight back. Keep the toes rooted as we stretch the top of the left foot, the left ankle here. Straight left leg. And then flexing that left foot. Now we're going to move in deeply into our hamstrings. So don't round into the spine. Keep that heart extending through, lengthening that back. We've created a lot of space in the spine, so don't lose that here by folding from the spine. Fold from your hips. Breathe into that left leg. Breathe in your hamstring. Stay with your breath. Breathe into that hamstring. Create space in your body. And on that next inhale, shift that weight back forward into that bent front leg. Lift the back knee off of the earth. High lunge here with those legs. And then step that left leg back to meet the right. Shift the weight back, downward facing dog. Slowly walk those feet forward, coming to that forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, extend through the spine. Create space in that spine. Stay here. And on the next exhale, releasing back down, forward fold. Inhale, arms come wide as we rise to the sky. Exhale, gentle back extension, shift the hips forward. Inhale, hands to sky. Exhale, forward fold, release it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, root the palms. Step that left leg back now. Releasing that back knee to the top of the foot. Hands may stay on the earth as we pull the heart through. Maybe hands come to the top of the right knee. Maybe come to those hips, small of the back or the sky. Whatever feels right for you as you deeply breathe into the front of that left hip, that hip flexor, that psoas muscle. We do a lot of sitting in our life, and this gets extremely compressed. So really utilize your breath to breathe into this muscle and allow it to create space. Steady breath here. On that next inhale, inhale hands to sky, and then exhale them down to the earth as we shift the weight back here. Keep the toes rooted on that right foot, breathing into the top of that foot, that ankle, that shin. And on your next exhale, flex that right foot, shift those weight back, square those hips. As we breathe into that right hamstring, keep the spine long. Don't roll the back here. Bring the breath into that hamstring underneath that right leg. Keep that heart shining through, don't round the spine. Full from the hips as you breathe deeply and move deeply into this posture. On that next inhale, shift the weight forward. Tuck those back toes, lift that back knee up. Palms are rooted as you send those hips back, downward facing dog. On that next inhale, inhaling forward into that high plank, slowly lowering the body all the way down to the earth. And on that inhale, lift that heart up and through cobra. Exhale, release the chest down, tuck the back toes, shift the weight back here. Knees can stay on the earth, and then lift those knees up into that downward facing dog. Root those palms down. And on that next inhale, right leg lifts to the sky as you bend the knee, opening that hip, the front of that psoas. Extend that leg long, and then slow and controlled, bring that leg forward to the front of the mat. That right knee is by that right wrist, left ankle by that left hip. Lift that heart up here first, square those hips out. And as you feel ready, you can lower it down. If you need to bring a blocker or pillow under that left hip for some more support, please do so. And then slowly, as you feel ready, lower down. However deeply it feels comfortable in your body. We'll be here for a few breaths. Again, this is a beautiful release if you're struggling with some sciatica issues. So breathing here into that psoas muscle. Wherever you are, focus on your breath. This can be an intense posture for some. So focus on breathing and guiding that breath into wherever it is that you feel that pressure or that intensity in your body. And on that next inhale, lifting back up here, really root those palms down, tuck that left foot, those left toes as we inhale that right leg back to the sky, releasing it back down on the earth. Root that right foot down here, and then on that inhale, left leg to sky, bend the knee, open the hip, and then lengthening that leg as we bring it forward. Left knee here towards that left wrist, coming into that pigeon on the other side. Walking that back foot out, lift that heart up and through, square those hips. Again, if you need to bring something under the right hip, please do so. And as you feel ready, as those hips are squared, slowly lowering down into that sleeping pigeon. Or maybe you stay lifted if that feels better in your body. But just as you did on the other side, deeply connect with your breath. Guide that breath into the parts of the body that need support, that need release. Stay with that breath. Stay with that intention that you set at the start of your practice. Stay present in this moment together. And on that next inhale, lifting back up here. Rooting those palms, tuck the back toes of that right foot. Lift that leg back to the sky and release it down to the earth. Release those knees wide, big toes to touch, coming into that wide-legged child's pose here. Surrendering down to the earth. Maybe there's a little movement, or maybe there's stillness. And as you inhale, shift the weight forward, bring those knees to touch as we come into a traditional closed-legged child's pose. Wrap those arms towards the back of the body here, breathing into the spine as a gentle rounding naturally happens as we fold over those knees. Steady breath here. Allow yourself to release, to surrender. And on that next inhale, bring those palms forward. Then we're going to come down onto our sit bones. And then we're going to lower all the way down onto your back. Take your time. Support the body on the way down. When you get there, hug those knees into the chest. Gentle rock side to side. Release that spine. Then extend that left leg long. Set those toes down of the right foot as you shift those hips to the right about an inch. Hug that right knee into the chest and then bring this leg across the body towards the left side. Supine twist here. Really focus on keeping that right shoulder rooted. So if you need to come out of the twist a little bit to deepen and ground that right shoulder, I want you to do that. If you want to move more deeply, maybe you gaze over that right arm, that right shoulder. A few full breaths here as you twist into your spine. Remembering if there's any sharp pain, to just gently return out of this pose. But if it's just this extensive stretching, this deepening, this expanding, stay with your breath. Breathe through it and allow your body to create space. And on that next inhale, engage your core as you inhale that right knee back up. Shift those hips now about 2 inches to the left, and then hug that left knee up into the chest. Right hand to the outside of that left leg as you bring it across the body towards the right side. Root that left shoulder down. Again, if you need to release the twist a little bit to find that connection, please do so. Gaze over the left shoulder if it feels right. And then allow yourself to simply be here for a few breaths. Breathing into that spine. And then on that inhale, returning to center. Square those hips, hug both of those knees into the chest, gentle rock side to side. Bring those knees towards the armpits on each side. Hug those knees in. Breathe into the hips. And then extending those legs out long. Allow those feet to fall out wide. Roll the shoulder blades under the body as the palms face up here, fully surrendering to the earth below you. Release your breath. Release all the muscles in your body. Allow yourself to completely surrender. to let go, to be that peace within you.
Peace within me. Peace surrounding me. Peace from me. By thy grace, let there be peace. By thy grace, let there be peace. By thy grace, let there be peace within me. Peace surrounding me. Peace from me. By thy grace, let there be peace. By thy grace, let there be.
Slowly start to deepen your breath.
By thy grace, let there be.
Inviting gentle movement to your fingers and your toes, your ankles and your wrists. And as you feel ready, extending those arms above the head towards the back of your space. Full body stretch from side to side. Fingertips to toes, the deepest, fullest stretch of the day. And then slowly making your way onto one side of the body as you gently press your way back up to that nice, tall, seated posture you started your practice with today. Keep your eyes closed down. Stay in that space of peace within you. Return to that tall spine, create space between each of your vertebrae. Return to that steady breath that you carried through your practice. And on an inhale, bring those hands to heart center as you re-embody your intention one more time. And with those hands at a place of balance in front of your heart, inhaling your hands to your third eye, bringing balance to your point of clarity. And on an exhale, bring those palms to your lips, bringing balance to your words and balance to your truth. And on that next exhale, bring those palms down to the heart, bringing balance to your love and balance to your heart. And from this place of balance within me, I recognize, honor, and appreciate the teacher, the light, and the divine within you and all things. Namaste.